Now for the first question, actually we can like take the first question, that why are decomposition reactions are called opposite combination reaction? Because in the decomposition reaction, as we know that the breaking down of the molecules, and they are forming the two compounds or three more compounds, but in the combination reaction they are combining to form the molecules. That is why the decomposition reaction is the opposite of combination reaction. Coming to the next question, that is potassium chlorate is heated in the presence of manganese dioxide catalyst and it decomposes to form potassium chlorate and oxygen gas. You have to represent in a balanced chemical equation, and its balanced chemical equation will be KClO3 by giving heat. It will be 2 KCl plus 3O2. This is the answer. Coming to the next question, that is solution of potassium chloride when mixed with silver nitrate solution to form insoluble white substance, and you have to write the chemical equation involved in here, and what is the type of the chemical reaction. So in this particular case, the normal answer will be KCl plus the silver nitrate, that is AgNO3 gives KNO3 plus AgCl, and the type of reaction will be that it will be the double displacement reaction. Okay, so this is the first thing. Okay, this is the displacement reaction. Coming to the next question, that equal length of magnesium ribbon are taken test tube A and test tube B, and hydrochloric acid is added to test tube A while acetic acid is added to test tube B, in which case the reaction would occur more vigorously and why. So the answer will be in test tube A, reaction will be vigorous because HCl is a strong strong acid than acetic acid. Now coming to the fifth number question, the up to so a decomposition reaction of ferrous sulfate in the laboratory, and you can write this is basically a long 3-mark question. So normally you can do it by taking ferrous sulfate solution, basically which is green in color, and after the reaction it will change to Fe2O3 plus SO2, and that it will first of all change to white and then change to reddish brown color. Now coming to the 6th number question, that is a substance X is used for white as washing. So normally the substance X, that is calcium oxide, CaO, that is calcium oxide. What is the reaction of the substance X named in the when it will react with above with water? So when calcium oxide is reacting with water, it will form calcium hydroxide, which is CaOH whole 2. Now another question, write the balanced chemical equation for the following equation, that is barium chloride BaCl2 and aluminium sulfate, that is Al2SO4 whole thrice, and it gives barium sulfate, that is BaSO4, and aluminium chloride, that is AlCl3. Now if you want a balanced chemical equation, so I will multiply here and the 3 here and 2 here. Now it is balanced. Now coming to the next question, that is 7, and that write the chemical equation for the reaction taking place when zinc sulfide is heated in air. So normally what happens when zinc sulfide is heated with air, that means oxygen, it will form zinc oxide plus sulfur dioxide gas. So if you want a balanced reaction, you can 2 here and 3 here, and this is the 2 here, again this is the 2 here. Same for the zinc carbonate is calcinated, as you know that in the reaction that zinc carbonate is calcinated, that is in the absence of reaction, absence of oxygen, it will react that zinc carbonated ZnCO3 will give to ZnO plus carbon dioxide. Coming to the next question, that is manganese dioxide is heated with aluminium powder. So the normal reaction will be Mn2 plus aluminium, that give rise to manganese and aluminium oxide. So normally the reaction, if I want to write it as balanced, you can write it like this. Okay, now you have to multiply 3 here and 2 here. Now this is the balanced equation. Now coming to the next question, that what happens when a strain of lead metal is placed in strain of copper chloride? Write the balanced chemical equation. So for the same, you can write lead, that is Pb, and copper chloride, that is CuCl2, and when they react it will that is your lead chloride plus and copper. Now another question is that what are the precipitation reaction? As you know that in the case of precipitation reaction, one insoluble solid will form, and in the you have write an example, that the example you can take as silver nitrate plus sodium chloride. So in this particular case the silver chloride will form and with sodium nitrate, and here the silver chloride is your precipitation. Now coming to the next question, that a water insoluble calcium compound reacting with dilute sulfuric acid releases a colorless and odorless gas P with friction. So and when gas B is passed through lime water, the lime water turned milk and again okay. In this case, identify A. Here it will be calcium carbonate, and B that will be your carbon dioxide gas. And you have to write the chemical equation involved. So calcium hydroxide plus CO2 gives CaCO3 plus H2O. Okay. Now coming to the next question, a brown substance X on heating air formed of compound Y, that this X will be your copper, and it will form Y, so that Y after the reaction of oxygen it will form to copper oxide. So when hydrogen gas is evaporated, again change back to its original position, that is X. Now substance X and Y, you have to name it. So this is your X and this is your Y. Now what is the name the process occurring during the changes? As you see that one is your oxidation and another is reduction, so we can say that the redox reaction, one is oxidation reaction and another is reduction reaction happened here. Now next fourth number is the same, you can write the chemical equation involved. So you can write the chemical equations, that is with like copper plus oxygen gives copper oxide, and copper oxide plus H2 gives copper plus H2. Okay, so now this is the topic. Now another term is that what is rancidity. As you know that basically what happens when any food that is made up with fat and oil, after some time if you leave it in the atmosphere, they will they will oxidize, and the taste and the smell of that particular food will be changed. So this is termed as rancidity. What is the molecular formula of plaster of Paris? That is CaSO4 dot half H2O. This is the formula. Now write the chemical name. You have to write the here you have to write the chemical name and formula for washing soda. And the washing soda, in the case of, you have to write Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. So you have to remember these things. And next is that why does distilled water not conduct electricity whereas rainwater does? The reason is that in the distilled water no ions are produced, only water molecules are present, but in the case of rainwater some of the ionic species and some minerals are present, those who tend to conduct the electricity. What is water of crystallization? Is you know that some of the crystals that looks like dry, but when you check it, you will see that some of the water molecules are present inside it. Like in the case of washing soda, you can see sodium carbonate dot 10H2O. This is an example of water of crystallization. If you want more water of crystallization, then in this case you can write the examples of like copper sulfate, that is also that can be done, that is copper sulfate is 5H2O, and similarly you can use gypsum is like your calcium sulfate with 2H2O. Now coming to the next question, in the compound which obtained from baking soda is used to remove the permanent hardness of water. So normally the permanent hardness of water can be removed by sodium carbonate. You have to write the name, that sodium carbonate. What is the formula? That is Na2CO3 the formula. What happens if you recrystallized it? It will form Na2CO3.10H2, that is your washing soda, it will form. Coming to the sixth number question, that is what changes will you observe in the color of red litmus paper when it is solution of sodium sulfate? Look at here, when sodium sulfate we are discussing that the red litmus paper will not change, there will be no change because sodium sulfate is a neutral salt. And another thing is that why bottle to the brim with concentrated sulfuric acid is left open in the atmosphere by mistake. Will there be any changes? Yes. Normally what happens that concentrated sulfuric acid will absorb moisture from the environment and it will overflow. Next question, you write down the equation and balance of dilute sulfuric acid. What happens when reacting the zinc granules? So normally it will H2SO4 plus zinc, that it will form ZnSO4 plus H2. Now what is dilute hydrochloric acid react with magnesium? So dilute hydrochloric acid, the formula will be Mg plus 2HCl gives MgCl2 not 2, that is MgCl2 plus H2. So this is the reaction. What is the difference between hydrated salt and anhydrated salt? So normally what happens, the hydrated salts are the salts which is having some water molecules inside it, but in the anhydrated salt it is without any water molecule. What are the uses of washing soda? It will help to remove the stains, and it can use for softening the hard water. Write the chemical equation for the preparation of bleaching powder. So normally the bleaching powder preparation will be 2CaOH. 2 and when it will react with the chlorine, it will react CaOCl, and you can write the bracket plus CaCl2 plus 2H2O. Right now, another same thing, that is plaster of Paris. What is the formula of plaster of Paris? That you have to write the equation, that is CaSO4 dot 2H2O. Now it gives rise to CaSO4 dot half H2O plus 3 by 2 H2O. So this is one reaction. What is caustic soda? Now for in the case of sodium chloride, you take as sodium chloride, you can react it with water and it will form C2 plus H2 plus 2NaOH. You have to make it in the process of electrolytic process. What is the chloralkali process? This is the same where we can actually prepare the caustic soda. Two uses of caustic soda. Now you can use as the it is used in the pulp, like in paper industries, to preparation of the pulp, and soaps and detergent industries. Now coming to the next, that what happened when iron nails kept in an aqueous solution copper sulfate, that copper sulfate will change its color. Solution which is actually iron nail will change to a reddish brown color, and copper sulfate solution which was blue will be changed to that will change to greenish in color, pale greenish in color. Non-metal which is luster, metals which basically luster is having, sorry, non-metal, that is diamond, and one metal that is having non-luster, that you can take as lead and sodium also you can take. What are the amphoteric oxides? Amphoteric oxides, they can use act with acids and base as well, right? One example you can, two example you can take, zinc oxide and aluminum oxide. What are the two allotropes of carbon? Graphite is and diamond, they are both the allotropes of carbon. And which is the hardest natural substance? Diamond is the hardest natural substance. What is rusting? Rusting basically it is to form the Orst oxide state. In case of rusting, it is the presence of air. In case of calcination, that it is in the absence of air. This is the difference between them. Now what happens when zinc react with copper sulfate? When zinc react with copper sulfate, that it will form ZnSO4, then copper. Similarly, what happens when magnesium react with chlorine? That magnesium will react with chlorine, that it will form MgCl2 plus H2. Now similarly, in the case of sodium react with water, sodium plus H2O gives 2NaOH plus H2. This is the reaction. Now describe the use of aluminium as a reducing agent for the, yes, you can take as, because basically aluminium will act as a strong oxidizing agent and it will gives off its electron to the oxygen. Okay, sorry, it will act as a reducing agent, strong reducing agent. What is the reaction involved? You can write it as Fe2O3 plus 2Al gives 2Fe plus Al2O3. This will be the reaction. What is the electronic configuration of sodium and chlorine? Sodium is like 281, and in the case of chlorine it is 287. Now, so the electronic configuration, so the formation of sodium chloride, how, as you know that sodium will have 1 electron and chlorine will have 7 electron in its outermost shell, and this 1 electron will go to here. Okay, now coming to the next question, write the name and the structure of an aldehyde with 4 carbon atom. You can take as butanol, that will be your CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2. Sorry for that. Actually, I am having some. Not this is CH3, CH2, CH2, CHO. So this will be your reaction. What is the name of the functional group present? This is the ketone, because CO is present, and this is COOH, that is your carboxylic acid group. Keep a test, the experimental distinguish between alcohol and carboxylic acid, and the reaction will be, you can take as when sodium bicarbonate test, we can say that that reaction you can take in this case. For that, when you add sodium hydrogen carbonate to acetic acid in a test tube, a gas liberated immediate with breathable effervescence, name the gas. The gas will be carbon dioxide gas. Okay, now what are the method you can take? You can react it with lime water, and this reaction can be done. What is the meant by homologous series? As particularly you will know that some of the series that are like same nature, like in case of alkanes and alkynes, alkane you can say is like your methane, butane, propane. These are the same homologous series. Similarly for alkene, ethene, propane, butane will be your same. Now, what are the carbon compound and what are the homologous series? You have to understand that here C3H4, C4H6 and C5H8. Basically, these are alkynes. These are alkynes, and C3H6, C4H8 and C5H10, they are alkenes. Now coming to the next question, that name the gas liberated when ethanol react with sodium metal. How do we get ethene from ethanol? Write a chemical equation. So basically the chemical equation will be the reaction fast, that is I will go at C2H4 plus H2O. Okay, now next, what is the role of the acid? What is the role of the acid? Role is the acid will act as your dehydrating agent, that is the role. 7, what is the difference between the chemical composition of soaps and detergents? The main difference is that soaps are known as sodium salt of long chain carboxylic acid, whereas detergents are known as sodium salts of long chain benzene sulfonic acid. That is the difference. Now, why are soaps not considered suitable for washing when water is hard? Due to the mineral which are present in the molecule, they will make the soap molecule as scum. It will be difficult to wash. Now, a normal 8 number question, two properties of carbon which is led to large number of carbon compound. One is your tetravalency and another is catenation. Now, what does micelle formation take place when soap is added to water? Because basically soap having the both hydrophilic and hydrophobic end, so this is why it acts as a micelles. What is isomerism? Isomerism basically known as they will have the same molecular formula but different nature they will have. Now, what are the characteristics? Same number of atom, different structural arrangement, different physical properties, different chemical properties they can have, and the structure is, and draw the structure of possible isomer. So you can write it like this: A 1 2 3 and 4, like similarly C 1 2 3. So this will be your two, but you have to fill the hydrogens here. Okay, in the respective thing, this is your butane and this is your isobutane. Okay, so now this is all for today.